Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. And I just realized it's also Labor Day. Wow. Times, I don't know how to deal with this. Times moving beyond means. However, does not mean there's not going to be videos a day. However, there may just be 2 videos a day because I'm kind of covering 2 videos or 2 articles or 2 stories at once. So, yes, ma'am. But what we have here is something that I've caught my eye as of recently. I was emailed this. And something that I should probably address to you and have some of my own opinions. So, the 22-year-old January 6th defendant dies less than a month after being arrested. Now, this is, of course, from the Western Journal, so I'm just giving you guys this here. But what I want to refocus on is this here. Because this goes on the entire thing about the rioter and other things that's been going on. Major retailer Green blames Biden for January 6th rioter's death. Representative Major Taylor Greene blamed President Joe Biden on Friday for the recent death of a Capitol riot defendant who she claimed had committed suicide. Reports began to circulate on Friday that George Meckham, a 22-year-old Utah resident on January 6, 2021, Capitol riot defendant, had died roughly 2 weeks after he had been arraigned on charges related to his participation in the riot. This news was confirmed by a local obituary and a court filing from the Department of Justice, which further cited a police report from the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office that outlined Meckham's passing. No details have yet been disclosed regarding Meckham's cause of death. Despite that of information, the notion that his death was a suicide has begun to spread in right-wing political circles online. On Friday, Green, a Georgia Republican and a staunch supporter of the former President Donald Trump, echoed those unfounded claims and blamed Meckham's death on Biden and U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Matthew Graves, calling it the forced suicide among Capitol riot defendants. Now, like I said, we don't know if this was an actual suicide. We don't know if it's an actual, if any nefarious things happened. I tried to look at his obituary for the cause of death. It didn't say anything about that. So that has me a little bit concerned. I want to know the cause of this man's death. Straight up, I just do. I want to know if our justice system had actually killed him in some kind of way, if it was actual suicide or what have you, because these are things that need to be answered. And there is some truth to Green's claims here. She goes on to say that U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves is now responsible for a 4th suicide by a January 6er because of extreme prosecution of January 6 defendants. The Congresswoman wrote on X, the platform previously known as Twitter, I don't really care. George Meckham was 19 years old when he non-violently walked in the Capitol. 19, Biden's communist regime has destroyed justice and stolen hope. Goes on to say here, while Meckham's cause of death remains unknown, Green's claims of 3 other deaths by suicide is accurate. According to Law and Crime, in an article published last July, 47-year-old Mark Ungst, maybe that's pronounced, of Pennsylvania, 53-year-old Christopher Georgia of Georgia, and 37-year-old Matthew Perna of Pennsylvania all died by suicide after taking part in the Capitol riot. Perna and Ungst had both been brought to court and pleaded guilty by the time of their deaths, while Georgia took his own life only a few days after the riot. At least 3 other participants have also died from other causes, Law and Crime noted. I wonder what those causes could be. Why are all these people dying in these jail cells or in these places? According to NBC News Justice reporter Ryan J. Riley, Meckham was a nonviolent participant and had been facing relatively light charges compared to other defendants. George Meckham was arrested less than a month ago and faced the 4 basic misdemeanors that often result in plea deals and probationary sentences. Meckham's charges include the following. According to a DOJ filing, knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in Capitol building, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol building. Now, that's what we bring here, right? Okay, guys? So, I want everybody to stop for a second here. And I want you guys to realize what's been going on. If there's already been 3 suicides, and there has been essentially this young man here dying, and then we have as well some other people that have died from other causes, which I'm going to get to that in a second here, then I'm going to show you of what is really going on to these January defendants and how bad are they truly being treated. Because that's actually what the right has been saying, or the Republicans have been saying, that these January 6ers have been horribly treated. Well, I think there may be some truth to those claims because, again, these are some deaths that have been going on. Granted, these are 3 people that took their own lives. But there are other deaths that are just caused by other reasons. And we have this. Dark reality. A national disgrace. Photos leaked of horrific January 6th prisoner abuse. Tortured 5 months in isolation in a closet room with light on and a bucket for a toilet. Where are the ACLU, Amnesty International Human Rights Watch? Well, of course, they're not to be seen because they don't care about these people. We have this here. January 6th political prisoner Ryan Samso has been held in prison without trial now since January 2021. During his 2.5 years without trial, Ryan has been moved from around to 17 different facilities. Ryan has been beaten, abused, tortured, and neglected since his arrest in January 2021. Earlier this week, the Gateway Pundit received exclusive photos from Ryan Samso's prison cell at the FTC in Philadelphia. The cell was the size of a closet with a light on all the time. The cell had a thin blue mattress, no sheets or blankets, no clothing, and he was kept here for 5 months straight. The photos are just shocking. This is taking place in America today. This is who we are. Ryan told the Gateway Pundit in a conversation this week, I was kept in a hard cell and in that particular cell about 5-6 months. I even told you what was happening is the judge was actually calling, trying to get in contact with me because I wasn't in a named cell. They were missing me and they were saying I wasn't showing up to court. They were saying I wasn't showing up to medical, but they were pretty much keeping me in there. Like I said, it was cold, the light was on, there's zero window, and that followed me from Virginia. When I was in Virginia, it was the same exact conditions. Ryan described the same situation in Virginia. It was a central regional Virginia cell. I was kept in, and they called it booking hard cell, which is you get zero phone, zero commissary, zero clothing, because they think that you're going to hang yourself and you're on a constant surveillance. I wonder why that might be, where you might actually hang yourself. Because it seems like these type of conditions seem very relaxing and comfortable and wouldn't drive a person to suicide no matter who you are. You're under surveillance constantly. The light has to be on 24/7. You're locked in a cell. There's no getting out. The windows in Virginia were covered by a black mat so you weren't able to see. And it's costed nothing. It's deprivation of everything. Again, this is what we call, we also call this like what you would call not a holding cell, but like an isolation cell or something similar to that. I've never made actually a more clear cut, but it doesn't really matter to that much because this is the way they're doing things here in America today, where we have these sorts of problems. Now, I understand that in other prisons they had to be this rough or crucial with people that are been a massive threat to the country, like not Al Capone, but I think it is Al Capone. I think so. Him that was also placed in one of these hard facilities in Colorado because he's escaped multiple times from other facilities and he's done immense amount of damage and destruction. So obviously he needs to be held into a prison to where he can't get out unless we just straight out kill the guy, which I again don't think is necessarily the right way, but at the same time, the guy probably deserves to be executed in some form of fashion. However, we have this guy here that does not deserve any of this kind of treatment. Ryan believes the government tortured him for months so he would rat out the Proud Boys. They even beat Ryan numerous times and kept him locked down so he couldn't communicate with anyone. The torture is taking place in America today. Where is the Republican Party? Where is the ACLU, Amnesty International Human Rights Watch? Please contact these organizations here. Ryan is not alone. Numerous January 6 prisoners have been held for months in torturous conditions. Dozens have been sentenced to extreme sentences for non-violent crimes. This is a horrible chapter in American history. It must be confronted. So, remember what we've seen here, right? To where there have been many other, to where we have this here, at least others also died from other causes. Now, what are these causes for? Because what we're seeing here is this is a complete travesty, a disgusting behavior from our actual government in general. This is what communists do. These are what fascists do. These are evil people that put these people in these situations at all. This is the reality. And here's another thing as well, that if this is what the situation to how this guy is being treated, how this guy is currently actually living, then you have to go into question what are the other reason causes, because this would make a person go actually insane. This would be something that would make a person want to actually end their lives. This would also be something that would probably have them die to a beating that they received from somebody that we don't know who they are, and then we would also lead to maybe some other health conditions that would lead to this person to a person dying. So there's a lot of questions that our government needs to answer here. Joe Biden, what says you? Because I think you should also be known to probably fix these situations. ACLU, I don't have faith in you. I know you're going to abandon this man like you abandoned so many others and the government and our country. So I don't have any hope for you. So Republicans, are you going to do anything about this? Are you going to talk about this young man here that has obviously destroyed many lives? There's a lot more questions that need to be answered. And what are those answers, too? Alright, guys. That's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care. Stay strong.